Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppage. Today, checking out some more classic Belgian beer, or modern classic, that is from Brasserie de la Senne. And look at this, proper glassware. I love drinking beer out of proper glassware. It's pretty damn dope. So I actually got this as a gift from Mads from the Belgiske Hus. He had a care package for me and the Bad Seed guys, with a mix of beers from Brasserie de la Senne and also Vinohradsky Pivovar in the Czech Republic. So really awesome, thanks a ton, Mads. And I wanted to review some of them, especially some of these de la Senne beers, because some of them I never reviewed on the channel and some of them are banging. Well, I'm sure all of them will be really good. De la Senne is a brewery that is a brewery I've tried beers from like years ago, but it's not until like recent times that I really started to appreciate like TaZ Bulba and these kind of beers that are just marvelous. Recent times in the last maybe 5 years, because it was a brewery I kind of forgot about. And then I had the whole renaissance with classic beer and lagers and stuff like that. Like, wow, they make amazing beers. Why are these beers rated so low? It's amazing. I've been to the brewery twice myself, and I had a small tour as well. Very nice place. If you're in Brussels, it's a must visit as well. So we're looking at, I guess, their real flagship and the beer that apparently also started it all. This is Zinnebir. So Zinnebir is their Belgian pale ale and 5.8% alcohol. They also make Zinnebir Xmas, I think. And I think that was the first de la Senne beer I ever had. But yeah, Belgian pale ale. And this was bottled in March. Wow, this is really fresh. Thanks, Mads. That is really cool. So the Belgiske Hus, where Mads works, is the distribution or import company that imports beer from Belgium, like these guys, and sells beer throughout Denmark. And they're an import and distribution company because they also distribute like Danish beer, and they're known for having a nice portfolio of classic Belgian beer, besides also like all kinds of other stuff, Czech beer, Danish beer, whatever. But Zinnebir. See here, we got their website open here, and they say a golden colored, perfectly balanced Belgian pale ale, fruity hoppy flavors. They recall apricot and orange marmalade, has a malty note and a nice bitterness. So yeah, I think I had this down in Brussels last time, which was really, really enjoyable. And just look at that head. You can probably see it, of course, in the thumbnail, but that was massive. I poured kind of shitty, but the head retention on beers like this, like fuck. But yeah, this looks great in the glass. It's got that golden yellow hue. It's not golden. Why do that is just like the regular Spiel. This is just yellow, straw yellow. It looks more golden on camera. It's hazy, big frothy white head. Let's check out the aroma on Zinnebir for the first time in maybe a year. Oh, that smells banging. Like this is, it's similar in some ways to something like TaZ Bulba, but it's not as abrasive. It's definitely more fruity. It's not as like spicy and drying and like, you know, TaZ Bulba has that intense noble hop character. This is definitely marmalade-y. I see something like lemony notes to it. There's definitely also some like almost unripe stone fruit, but there's also definitely like noble hop type nuances. I'm getting a lot of spice, a lot of like black peppercorn, white peppercorn, like really peppery on the nose. There's a bit of like a fluffy, almost like wheat bread kind of note. And then a lot of people say funkiness. I don't think this one is finished with bread. To me, it doesn't smell funky per se. It just smells like very intensely of like noble hop like nuances and a lot of like yeast. The esters, fruitiness from yeast. They say here, unfiltered, top fermented beer, blonde craft beer, re-fermented in the bottle. I do know they do a lot of Brett fermentation, but they're very specific about it when there's Brettanomyces in the beer. But this smells really nice. Very grassy too. Almost like, again, Duvel, like, you know, I've said with Duvel, it's almost like Pilsner meets Belgian beer. This is a little bit the same. Smells really good though. Let's try it. Cheers, and thanks a ton to mess with the beer. This is really good. There we go. That like spicy bitterness building. It's definitely a whole lot less abrasive than Tas Bulba. Tas Bulba is just much more like squeezing your palate with like noble hop bitterness and spice and everything. There's a lot of that in here as well, but it's not as much. If you compare it to like a Pilsner, it's definitely much more aggressive than like a German Pils. It has like a really aggressive biting, like almost like saturated hop feel, like loads of biting hops. I can see they talk about citrus, there's some lemon notes, but I'm getting so much black pepper, like loads, black pepper, white pepper, just like digging into your palate. And then like on the finish, it dives into like herbal nuances, like really herbaceous, minty, Thai basil-y, almost like licoricey vibes, like really drying, bitter herbaceous. Like Thai basil is such a good note because it's lightly aniseed licorice like, but also like vibrant and green. And I think it's a herb that actually is a very interesting herb to compare to hop flavors when they go into that like biting green stuff. It just reminds me a lot of that. Definitely also some sweet doughy breadiness to this one. Like fluffy, bready, airy feel. This is great. This is really, really good Belgian Pale Ale. I think a lot of people there, like, they prefer this over Tas Bulba. And I don't know, maybe I prefer Tas Bulba a little bit. This has a little bit more sweetness to it, but I think also Tas Bulba is at around 4 point something. Yeah, Tas Bulba is 4.5. They also Senne Zinnebir. That's amazing. He also gave me a bottle of that, but I already reviewed that, so I'm just gonna drink that. But yeah, this is really good. Let's try and see how it is with the yeast. Okay, definitely looks different now. Looks like hazy beer. Look at that. Much different. Looks like a hazy IPA. Well, Belgian beer has always been hazy, a lot of it. So it mutes that like really vibrant hop character a bit and definitely provides more stone fruit, I think. Like underripe, like slightly tart stone fruity nuances, and it's like a little bit generic. It's not like specifically like, oh, it's a peach or whatever. It's just like a slight generic like stone fruity flavor, almost like biting into a stone fruit that's unripe, whereas like it's crunchy. It mellowed things out a bit with the yeast. It doesn't seem as abrasive. More sweetness, more fruitiness. Also a little bit like a pear, stewed kind of pear thing for me. And also like marmalade-y, jammy. This is just really good beer. And it's so old money. So old money. Like, if you love classic like beer that's maybe a bit more to the bitter side, you really dig this. Like the bitterness on this is fairly high. I wonder how high it is. I don't know. My initial thought with this was 93. Really banging beer. And I think I gave Tas Bulba like a 94 and 95. So maybe I do prefer Tas Bulba a little bit, but it's just hard to say when you don't have the beer side by side. Because I also think I remember drinking them side by side at the brewery being like, I think I prefer Zinnebir a little bit over Tas Bulba. It's a bit more sessionable, although it's stronger. But I'm not entirely sure. Right now, I feel like 93 is a very good grade for this. This is awesome. This is classic beer. Screw the on-tap rating on this. Like, drink it and get a great experience. Like, can't trust Untapped on beers that taste like this, that are a little bit abrasive. Like, most beers that taste like this that are so well done will never score high on Untapped unless they come from a new brewery that doesn't have loads of ratings and they're inspired by that brewery and people drink it and know about the beer. Like, kind of like a lot of American breweries. There's a lot of American breweries that do like beers inspired by European stuff, and people are like, oh, this is so great. It's so close to the real deal, and it's like higher rated than what is inspired by in Europe, because it doesn't have like a back catalog of ratings that are like in the thousands, where it's like people who don't understand it. Like, you also need to understand the beer. It's not like, you need to understand what the brewer is trying to do with what they're making as well. I think that's important when you rate beers as well. Something I've really grown into as well, because back in the day I like to just trash things I didn't personally like. But I think you should keep both your personal opinion and the like objective opinion of what it's trying to be in mind when you grade beers. But let's end on that. Thanks a ton to Mess with the Beer. 93 for Zinnebir. Really great to revisit this one. This is just a banger. So are most of the Brasserie de la Senne beers. Will be really fun to try the others as well that he provided. So thanks a ton, dude. If you guys already had Zinnebir, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And drink from Brasserie de la Senne. Fantastic Belgian brewery that just makes really dope, more old money beer. So cheers, guys, and see you in another beer review.